Hello, all of the audit team at Yorkshire and Stafford. We are from Group 24. My name is Vivian Polo and I have my group members Lin Nguyen and Amira Mazli. We will be presenting Maya Mart's accounts payable audit for the year ended 30th June 2023. Our presentation will be focusing on analyzing the accuracy, valuation, and allocation assertion. The presentation framework is first explanation of assertion, next approach to interrogating and findings, and implication for audit plan. Our client Maya Mart has a key control to the assertion by using key entry validation, which is an IT control whereby the number of units purchased is multiplied by the unit cost and compare with the total cost as per the supplier's invoice. So let's go into the details. First, accuracy ensures that the report is free from material misstatements in numerical. This means that the recorded amounts in the accounts are correct, calculations are accurate, and use the correct formulas, and any notes or account-related information are recorded accurately. For example, Maya Mart should ensure that the supplier code matches the supplier's name, that the order date precedes the shipping date, and that the total cost is calculated correctly. Next, valuation ensures that the accounts are correctly valued by accounting standards. For example, the accounts payable of Maya Mart should reflect their fair market value and adhere to accounting rules. Allocations ensures that accounts are appropriately assigned to the correct accounting period. For instance, any transaction made by Maya Mart for the year ended 30th June 2023 should not be recorded in the 2022 or 2024 financial years. In many cases, the accuracy of total calculation within the accounts can be easily assessed, and it became a starting point in ensuring that the financial information is accurately recorded and aligned with accounting standards. However, because of it is relatively simple and can be automated through formulas, there is a tendency for Maya Mart accounts to rely solely on this automated process. This raises the question, what if the formulas are input incorrectly? According to the Maya Mart data file, no formulas have been input into Excel. Furthermore, if some of the total costs are accurately calculated, it is likely to be assumed that the remaining accounts are accurate. As auditors, it is responsible to ensure that the formula is correctly generated and records are accurately calculated. Next, Amira Mazli will be presenting the approach to interrogating and findings.
Hi, I'm Amira Mazli and I will take you through our approach in interrogating the data of Maya Mart's accounts payable. Some questions that we need to ask for this assertion is whether the transactions are recorded in the correct financial year, and if they are being valued at the fair market rate, and whether all the calculations and formulas were done correctly. For Maya Mart's accounts payable, we have checked whether all the orders were made within the financial year of July 2022 to June 2023, and they all fall within those dates. Secondly, we need to check whether the total cost of the orders have been correctly calculated. To do this, we are analyzing the total cost of each supplier that Maya Mart owes. We did this by comparing the total cost report to the total cost check. The total cost report is the total cost of the invoices recorded in Maya Mart's records for that supplier, represented by the blue color, while the orange is representing the total cost check, which is generated by our control system by multiplying the unit costs and the number of units purchased for each order and totaling them according to the supplier. In this graph, we can see that there is a variance for the total cost of orders made from one supplier, that is Brenda Baumann, as highlighted by the red circle. To look deeper into this anomaly, we refer back to Maya Mart's records and found that all of the invoices from Brenda Baumann have incorrectly calculated the total cost. The red column represents the initial record done by Maya Mart, and the blue column represents our calculation of numbers of unit purchase times the unit cost. We have noticed that the red column varies with the blue column by 10%. And the green column represents what the amount would be if we add 10% to the initial record of the total cost. And we can see that the blue and green columns are equal. The 10% variation may indicate that Brenda Baumann invoices excluded the GST percentage, which is 10%. Now my colleague Lynn will discuss further about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Amira. The visualization clearly highlights the significant error in Mart's calculation. This brings up to another important point for discussion. Why is it that only Brenda Baumann's record are missing the GST calculations? It would be more understandable if this issue extends to all suppliers or a subset of transactions, as it could indicate an internal control problem at Mart during the calculation of the total cost over the period. However, since the error occurred across transactions with order dates ranging from July 22 to April 23 and are consistent with all transactions between the two businesses, this raised the question of whether this is a material misstatement or just a bias. One scenario might point to a material misstatement, and any underlying reason for this need to be thoroughly investigated. However, not everyone in the team agree on this, as another possibility that we've considered is that Brenda Baumann's business may not be registered for GST. To include GST in the product prices, businesses generally need to register for GST, and Brenda Baumann may not have done the GST registration. This might because it's not needed for the business, or they just haven't done this, which is why the products are GST exclusive and are not recorded in Mart. To confirm this information, we need to conduct a further investigation to Brenda Baumann's GST registration status using the ABN lookup. The information there should indicate whether GST registration is in place. Alternately, we can directly inquire with Brenda Baumann to determine their GST registration status. If it turns out that Brenda Baumann is indeed not GST registered, to prevent similar misunderstanding in the future and to saving time, it is advised for Mart to consider adding notes or introducing a dedicated GST column for clarity. With this approach, if the GST column is marked at $0, it can be understood that the product does not include GST. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.